writing that you do that you are somehow separated from only becomes more perfect as a result from your being separated from it. An example of this is that I wrote a story in college that I was absolutely obsessed with about this guy who had just become a minister. At the time I was thinking about becoming a minister. And this story was so good, I can't even tell you. It was so much better than any of my books. 1,000 times, not even exaggerating, 1,000 times better than any of my books. Deeper, more thoughtful, funnier, more lively, just kind of viciously funny. I mean, I would talk about this story constantly to my wife for about 10 years. Finally, she tracks down this story. She goes to my college and she finds one of the professors who I gave the story to, who happened to have it at like the bottom of a pile of something somewhere. She tracks down this story so that I can turn it into a book. She brings the story back to me, and it's awful. I mean, like aggressively bad. Like I was trying to make it bad, the way that like the woman who writes Gossip Girl does. And it's funny, but it's also true. How can I make this stupider? Yeah, okay, so what we're going to do, I know this sucks, but you're going to tear up the letter that you just wrote. I'm going to delete the file, my kit mayonnaise, and then we're going to talk about rewriting. But I want to hear the tears. Even you, Mary.
I got my address here.
I know you worked hard on it. It's because you worked hard on it that it must be destroyed.
I'll tear up this. I don't know, like this.
Now, okay, having done that, those of you who did not like your stories, are you nonetheless kind of pissed at me?
Nope.
That exists to serve two purposes. First, you didn't dislike your story as much as you thought. That's why you're mad at me. And secondly, there was probably something in there that was good that you will miss. Two things before we start this whole crazy process again. Number one, Thomas Carlyle rewrote the first volume of the French Revolution, and it was far better than the other two volumes because he rewrote it from scratch. Number two, Marion is still angry with me. I'm sorry. I'm going to tape it together later. Okay. Number two, in the process of writing for an audience, not writing for yourself, but writing for an audience, a huge portion of success is deleting things that you really, really love. I can't exaggerate how important it is to strip it down to make sure that it's not for anyone other than you. And so if there is some moment of cleverness that is clever for the sake of being clever, and there is no reason that it exists other than this cleverness pleases you and proves to you that you are a good writer and a funny person. I write lines like that every day, and I try to delete all of them, but I don't. And then my editor tries to get me to delete them, but I love them. And then they end up being in the book, and they inevitably infuriate me. And it's always the only thing that people talk about when they talk about what they don't like about my writing. They're like, well, but he has these like annoyingly clever, earnest bits. And I'm like, but I like my annoyingly clever bits.
They're about you.
You have to kill what you love, because it's not as difficult as this is to internalize, both about writing and about life. It's not about you. This is not something that you are doing solely for you. If you're writing for someone else, you should write for that person, even when it kind of sucks, and even when it's hard. So when we go back, we will try to write a better letter that we are more proud of, that is more of a start toward our epistolary short story about ketchup and mayonnaise, or Compy and the Cheat, was it?
Yes.
Compy and the Keyboard.
With the cheat.
But about whatever it was. I think it's good if you go back. I'm going to go back to the same 3 characters. Oh, I haven't deleted mine. Ha ha! I talk a big game. Oh, I can't. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to get it out of everything. So I've been doing this recently. I don't know how it's working, But I've been doing this recently because a lot of my friends have started doing it, and I like it. It's not efficient, but, you hear the noise? That was proof. It was emptied out of my trash. Okay.
Your glasses show that it's really.
Oh, you can see it in my glasses, right. Okay, so this time, we're going to take less time, because we already know what we're writing about, and we're going to write a better letter. And it will make up for the horrors that you just lost. And go.